Continuing on with 6.2, we're going to look at the division side. Now, I'm not going to do very many examples here because if you remember, division is really nothing more than multiplication, and multiplication is really nothing more than simplifying. So this whole section is basically just a review of your handwriting, because you got to rewrite the problems a bunch, and simplifying. So whenever you have division, all you have to remember is that the second fraction flips over and it changes to multiplication. KFC, keep, flip, change. So keep the first fraction the same, flip the second fraction over, change it to multiplication. Then you remember that multiplication is nothing more than combining the tops and the bottoms together. You just multiply straight across. And then simplifying is about finding those things that match between the top and the bottom, writing what's left over as your final answer. So that's all that we're going to be doing here. So division doesn't actually mean anything. Division just means rewrite it with multiplication. So if you have a problem with rationals, the division is not the hard step. All that tells you to do is rewrite it. I guess it could be hard to keep the focus and attention while you're rewriting it. Multiplication isn't really telling you to do anything either. It just means that you have to write the tops and the bottoms together as one. And then comes simplifying. Here's where the actual work might be. You need to factor stuff apart, you need to find the things that match, you need to write out everything that's left over, and be confident in your final answer. Alright, so there you go. There's basic division. I've got two more examples over here. And again, the hard part with both of them, in fact, is going to be the simplifying side of things. So division, not challenging, besides having to rewrite the whole problem again. Keep the first fraction the same, it changes to multiplication, you flip the second fraction over. Multiplication means you put the tops and the bottoms together. If you want to copy me and have the lazy way of doing it, it looks something like that. Just make sure that you've got all the different pieces in parentheses so that you can keep track of what happened there, what you multiplied together. And then comes the factoring. So a couple of these should work out pretty easily. X squared minus x minus 6, basic trinomial, that should be nice. X squared minus 25, difference of two squares, that should work out pretty nice. Where you have the actual effort, at least even to me to this day, the actual effort comes in with AC factoring. Here would be a good idea to go off on the side of your paper or a scratch piece of paper and go through the factoring. So looking at 2x squared plus 15x plus 25. So we're pretending that this here is kind of the side of my paper. We would like for there to be a GCF that we could take out that would make it a basic trinomial. There's not. There's no way that we're going to get around this. We have to take A times C and try and find things that multiply to 50 and add to 15. That would be 5 and 10. So you can split up the middle term using 5 and 10. Or if you want 10 and 5, it doesn't matter which way you write the middle term, it'll factor out the same. Then you group it. Then you factor stuff out of each group. You make sure that your parentheses match, and you should have it factored. So for that spot on my problem, I now know it is 2x plus 5, x plus 5. You should go through the exact same type of work with 2x squared plus 9x plus 10. I'm going to cheat. It will be x plus 2, 2x plus 5. So if you notice here, all the work is in the factoring and then recognizing what can cancel and what has to stay. Make sure that you're still keeping track of and not getting suckered into canceling out the x's here, because they're not being multiplied with the 3. There's a minus sign there, so that automatically in your head should tell you you cannot cancel anymore. This is the final answer. Okay, and I'm going to leave this last one here as an exercise for you. Again, I'll walk you through it real quick. You want to take care of the division first, so that means you need to flip the second fraction, rewrite everything out as multiplication. Then you will multiply the tops together and the bottoms together. Then you will factor everything. So you've got a basic trinomial, you have a GCF, if you catch that, GCF on that one. You've got another basic trinomial, and you have another GCF. So whenever you get it rewritten and you're trying to factor it, all those things come apart, and you should be left with 2x minus 7, x plus 9. If you've got any questions about that, make sure to let me know. Otherwise, there's division of rationals.